Hi everyone, my name is Edwin and welcome to my channel. I'm currently a prospective student of the NTU Double Degree program, Biomedical Science and Chinese Medicine. I'll be matriculating this year in August 2021, so I may see some of you on campus or who knows, even in my course as well. The purpose of this video is to shed more light with regards to my course and provide some insights with regards to the whole application process, interviews and many other things. Personally, for me, the thing is that I applied twice during the 2 years of my national service, once in 2019 and once in 2020. On both occasions, medicine was my first choice, followed by Chinese medicine, which was my second. Reason being for that was because I knew I wanted to be a doctor, and both Western medicine and Chinese medicine were equally interesting for me. And for medicine, to apply for medicine, you have to put it in the first choice, otherwise they won't really consider you. And furthermore, most of my experiences were in Western medicine, so hence, first choice was medicine, second was Chinese medicine. Now, given that this Chinese medicine course is a very specific, unique and small-sized cohort, there isn't really much info out there online, be it on Reddit or YouTube, etc. So for me, when I was applying, I was actually very lost, because there were so many things that I wanted to find out more about the course, but there was just insufficient information out there. So when I was applying or even thinking of putting Chinese medicine as a second course, a lot of thoughts were actually running through my head. For example, most of my portfolio was in Western medicine, so would I even get considered for Chinese medicine? Like, was there even any point in putting it as a second choice? Or is there any other form that I had to fill out? So I thought that I would share my own application process and how it went for me, and hopefully this video finds you well and you're able to get some insights with regards to the course. And even if you're not interested in applying for Chinese medicine, at least get some tips for your portfolio or interview, etc. for whatever course you want to apply in uni. And without further ado, let's get started. Here are the timestamps for the various topics which I'll be covering throughout this video. So you can just click to the timing or click to the section which you are most interested in to find out more about your uni application. Okay, so first off, what is this course about? So just a disclaimer first, what I'll be saying for the rest of this video is based on my own personal experiences and my own perspective of the whole process, of the whole uni application process and about the course. Because for me, I have not sat through any official lessons yet whatsoever. So I feel that I'm not in the position to promote the course or anything. I'm just here to share with you my own perspective and my own thoughts about the whole process. Okay, so this program is the first and only program in Singapore that offers students the chance to study Chinese medicine. This whole course spans a total of 5 years, whereby the first 3 years will be spent in Singapore, in NTU, while the last 2 years will be spent in China at the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine. At the end of the 5 years, you receive an honorary degree for Biomedical Science by NTU, and you receive the Chinese Medicine degree from the Beijing University in China. So I feel that what's good about this course is that each prospective students with both Western medicine knowledge and Chinese medicine knowledge. The Western medicine knowledge, of course, coming from the biomedical science side, and the Chinese medicine knowledge coming from the PCM side. So with these two, students will essentially learn how both of them complement each other and how it is able to allow students to provide a better diagnosis or a better treatment for the patients. So for the first 3 years in NTU, students will learn about biomedical science and the basics of Chinese medicine, while in the last 2 years in China is where you will specialize and really find out more about Chinese medicine in depth and in detail. It is also during this period of 2 years in China where you will get hospital postings, you'll specialize, you'll treat patients in hospitals and stuff like that. So you'll actually be like a mini doctor, I would say, going around the wards, treating patients, diagnosing them. Yeah, and I think it's quite fun. So similar to Western medicine, you get your clinical internships, hospital postings, learn how to treat patients, diagnose patients, and prescribe medicine, etc. So what will you learn throughout this course? Okay, so for the biomedical science side, you'll learn topics such as anatomy, physiology, pathology, and many more. While on the Chinese medicine side, you'll learn about cupping, tuina, acupuncture, the various herbs and many other stuff as well. Now here's the fun part. All biomedical science topics will be taught in English, while all Chinese medicine topics will be taught and tested all in Chinese.
Oh, hell no!
Okay, so I know this may be daunting for some of you, and don't worry, it was daunting for me as well. Simply because our Chinese isn't really the best, and for me personally, conversationally and written as well, my Chinese isn't really that good and average at best. But I feel that this is nothing to worry about, and your command of Chinese shouldn't be a deal breaker for you when it comes to considering whether you should apply for this course. Okay, so reason why is because personally I feel everyone is going to struggle when it comes to memorizing, learning, and understanding the various terms that are being taught in Chinese. So regardless of how good your Chinese is, these medical terms are very specific, and they are terms which everyone is new to and they are going to have to learn from scratch. So let me give you an example. This term right here, borborygmus. The thing is that you and I may both be able to read and pronounce it, but we still don't know what this term or what this word actually means. So hence this is the point I'm trying to put forth, is that whether you are good or bad in Chinese, everyone is going to struggle equally. And at most for our kind, all we need to do is just put the Hanyu pinyin for each word when it comes to reading. But I feel that it really shouldn't be a problem as well. It's just a minor obstacle that we have to overcome, because these terms are going to be thrown around and used around very, very frequently. So it's only just a matter of time before we are used to it and we are able to memorize and really understand these medical terms. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the application process. Okay, so for an application process, applying for this course is same as any other course actually. You can just apply under the general admissions. There's no special form or whatsoever you have to fill out just to apply for this course. So the thing is, I recommend the ABAS scheme, or more commonly known as like the discretionary admission scheme, because to me there's no harm in applying for it. And after all, if your portfolio is something that is very, very unique or something that stands out, then all the more you should go for this ABAS scheme, as it will showcase more of your qualities and more on the projects you've done rather than just based on grades alone. Now, whether to put Chinese medicine as a first or second choice, the thing is, for me, I am not sure. But preferably put it as the first or second choice. I'm not saying this because I put it as my second choice and I got in. But the way I see it is, Chinese medicine is still a medical and healthcare related course. So you have to be sure that you want to take this course and it is something that you really want to do or you're interested in studying. So hence, even though I'm not sure, I feel that if you were to apply for this course, preferably put it as the first or second, is to show your interest and to show your passion with regards to this course and that you're interested to learn more about this course. So now for the portfolio aspect for the course. Personally, I would say anything healthcare related would be fine, because Chinese medicine, at the end of the day, even though you are studying something that is very unique and very specific, it is still healthcare related and it is still medical related. I agree that Chinese medicine opportunities and internships and stuff like that aren't as easy to find as compared to Western medicine. So hence, I feel that just treat TCM as like a medicine course, and to boost your portfolio, anything healthcare related, be it a clinical internship, you job shadow, or like hospital attachments and stuff like that, anything would suffice actually. Because for this Chinese medicine course, you are still going to be a doctor at the end of the day. It's just that the knowledge that you're relishing in would be different. So for things in your portfolio, they need not be anything big or unique. Of course, if it is, then it will be a big plus. However, the thing is that I feel like the things that you put in should reflect who you are as a person and what you truly believe in. And like how these experiences, allow you to learn something and possess the qualities of the person which you are today. So I feel like this topic especially on like, oh, you should put things that truly reflect yourself. I feel like this is being overtalked and being undervalued, I'd say. Like, because this term like, oh, your portfolio should be things that you did and reflect about yourself. I feel like these terms are being thrown around too frequently, that like, even for me as well, during that time when I was applying, I didn't really understand like the full extent or like the actual meaning behind that. The real importance of putting the things which you feel strongly about in your portfolio is to showcase where your interests lie and where your passion lies as well. And not just that, it is for you to feel comfortable as well during the interviews or any selection process that occurs, because it will come naturally to you. It is what you feel strongly about, and it is something that you truly believe in. And after all, this course is something which you applied for. So it should be something which you feel strongly in, and you feel that you want to make an impact or you want to join this course which you are applying for. And I feel like there's no point in trying to like take another person's points. Like, referencing it or like, you know, having a gauge of what to write is fine, but I think you shouldn't take anybody's points for that matter, because for one, it will not reflect who you are as a person. It is not true and it's not sincere as well. For two, practically speaking, you are just going to create problems for yourself during the interview or any selection process, because the points that you've stated in your personal statement or whatsoever is not the points that you truly believe in. And then because of that, you have to consciously think of how to answer questions during the interview if they were to target and poke you more on your personal statement. For three, even though you may have gotten into the course, I feel like you may not be truly happy or truly satisfied, because it is not the values or the characteristics which you yourself truly embody. But yeah, with that aside, I hope that for portfolio wise, you'll be able to find something which you truly feel strongly about or you're interested in. From there, build on those points and explain how your experiences have really shaped you to who you are today, and you feel that the course which you're applying for benefits you and you are able to benefit the course as well. Okay, so now onto the grades and the cutoff points required for this course. Honestly, I also do not know. I mean, it's not even listed in like the NTU grade profile for the courses that they have. But reason being for that, I feel, is because this course has a cohort size of about around 30 people if I'm not wrong. The number of students is too small to have like a definite cutoff point whereby like this and above makes it in and this and below doesn't. So be it for Poly, JC or even IB, I really do not know what the cutoff point is. But personally for me, my A-level score was 84.325, and I feel that the main point isn't really about the grades, but rather whether you are interested and you have the passion and drive to pursue this course. Okay, so for grades wise, I feel like it should be on a decent level. How decent? I'm not sure, because I don't want to give like any false information or any misleading details, because I myself, I'm really not sure. But I feel that the reason why I say decent, right, is because the main point for the cutoff points for each course is to see whether you're able to handle the rigor and the rigorousness of the course, or like you're able to handle what the course demands from you academically wise. So the cutoff points are just see it as like a general guideline to judge a student's ability to study, and it's not judging you as a person or your characteristics whatsoever. It is just your ability to study. And for this Chinese medicine course, see it as a medicine course whereby like at the end of the day, you really still have to study a lot. And when I mean by a lot, it's really a lot. So the purpose of grades is just to see whether you are able to handle this rigor and this intense amount of studying which you have to do to be able to do well or even to survive the course. Yeah, so by all means, actually it's not just for Chinese medicine, but for any course as well, just go ahead and apply regardless of what the cutoff point is. Because the thing is, there's no harm in applying and trying to see whether you're able to get the course. I mean, after all, like what I said, the grades or the cutoff points are just a gauge. If whatever things you've done, or you're able to show that you really want this course and you're able to do whatever it takes to get into this course, then by all means just go ahead. I don't see why they should reject you. So yeah, don't doubt yourself, don't regret anything, and just go for it. Okay, so now on to the interview segment of this video. So just a disclaimer, I took this interview in 2020, and that was when COVID hit. So I'm not sure whether the interview process will be the same for future batches, but I'm just here to share with you my experiences for the interview. Okay, so 20 minutes prior to the interview, I was given this article right here. And of course, as you can tell, it's fully in Chinese. And yeah, yay. So on top of this article, we were given some questions with regards to the article as well, to ponder about as we were reading through this article. So fun story, the thing was I don't know why, but I actually spent 5 to 10 minutes actually trying to read the article in Chinese. I don't know why I thought it would be a great idea, but I was trying to force read it in Chinese. But thankfully, my brain actually started working, and after the 10 minutes of struggling to read this article, I actually went to Google Translate everything in English so I could actually read and understand what was going on. Okay, so the interview was actually split into 2 different parts. The first part was just some general questions that were being asked, some casual icebreakers and stuff like that. While the second part was with regards to the article and with regards to the questions that they posed to us prior to this interview. So the interview comprised of 2 professors and 3 interviewees. Okay, so the first half of the interview, like I said, general questions were being asked, and whenever a professor asked one of the questions, 3 of us would take turns in answering that question. So the first question that was being asked is, tell me about this which you did in your portfolio. So right here, it was just a standard question, all 3 of us answered it as per normal. There was nothing weird or nothing unique to point out here. Okay, so now for the second question, which is, why did you choose Chinese medicine? So this part was quite funny. I remember after all 3 of us gave our answers as to why we decided to apply for this course, the professor actually chipped in at the end, and he actually said this. He said, the 3 of you here in this interview, you all actually put medicine as your first choice and Chinese medicine as your second, but it's alright, all of you gave decent answers, so good job. And this part, all 3 of us laughed. I think we found it quite funny was because we all got exposed, so yeah, whoops. But the thing that actually stood out for me wasn't the fact that we were exposed, but rather the fact that the way that the professor said that statement had no ill intention whatsoever. It was really just to lighten up the atmosphere and to really make us less tense throughout the whole interview, and that was something that stood out to me actually. Like, there was no grilling, no ill intention whatsoever behind that statement. Okay, so now on to the third statement, which is money important to you? And this was more like a general kind of statement, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you value money in your life? Okay, so here's the thing. After all 3 of us said our answers, the professor just respected whatever answers we gave, regardless of how vastly different they were. And the professor actually went on to explain to us the rationale as to why he asked that question. So reason being was because he actually just wanted to give us some insights and just give us some real advice with regards to money and this Chinese medicine course. The thing is that in terms of starting pay, the starting pay for this course isn't as high as compared to the other courses or as compared to our Western medicine counterparts. And personally to him, he felt that it wasn't reflective of how much we actually studied or how much effort and time we would have to put in throughout this course. With this being the case, it is something that we would have to keep in mind if we were to continue to pursue this course. And the professor actually went on for the next 15 to 20 minutes talking about his life and how he viewed money throughout the various stages of his life. He also advised us this, which was that yes, indeed, money is important because after all, realistically speaking, you are going to need money to get through your life. However, money should not be your number 1 priority. because money can't buy happiness. And he added on by assuring us that Chinese medicine was able to, at the very least, provide us with a very comfortable and a decent lifestyle. It's just that for the first few years, the starting pay, yeah, we're gonna have to suck thumb a little bit lah. Okay, now on to the fourth question, and this was the one that actually struck me a little bit, which was, what are you going to do once you've gotten your Chinese medicine degree? And of course, the reason why this stuck with me until now is not because of how the three of us answered the question, but rather how the prof actually followed up after that. Okay, so the prof said this, which was that since now everything is being viewed through a very westernized lens, Chinese medicine currently is not as popular as compared to Western medicine. And as for Western medicine, the various pathways which you can take, be it specializing, career pathways and stuff like that, they are all being set in stone and it's very straightforward. For example, if you would like to specialize to be a cardiologist, how much time you need to take, how much effort you need to put in, and how much you need to study as well. All are being set in stone because many people ahead of us have already done it, and there are a lot of examples out there. Whereas for Chinese medicine, the road ahead is not as straightforward and it's not really set in stone. And if anything, me right now, or rather me and my batch, will be the ones to pave the road for our future juniors who decide to pursue TCM as well. And know that should you take this course, this is one of the challenges where you have to mentally prepare yourself for. Can I just say that at this point of the interview, I was dead calm. Like, Gyu from Demon Slayer.
全集中水の呼吸11の型なぎ
Yeah, dead calm. And if anything, actually, it didn't feel like it was an interview at all. In fact, if anything, it just felt like a get to know you kind of session, or like just a friendly conversation actually, like with all the smiles and all the laughter that we were having like throughout this whole interview. And personally, but at this point, I really liked the interview because it really made me think about this course from different points of view. For example, money, career prospects wise, like really different points of view with regards to this course. And then from there, by truly understanding more about this course and having more insights, understand if really this is the course that I want to pursue. And honestly, I felt as though I was talking to like Master Wu Kuei.
There are no accidents.
With all the words of wisdom or advice that he was just throwing around at the end of every question that we asked. Okay, so now on to the second part of this interview. And this is where we will talk about, or rather we discussed about the article which I mentioned before. And guess what? Not only is the article in Chinese, this whole interview part is in Chinese as well. Yay. And honestly, at this point, I just decided to have fun throughout the whole interview. And I recall saying this to the professor before it was my turn to answer. So I said this, I said, 老师，我的 Chinese 不太 good，可以吗? Like no exaggeration whatsoever, I really said that. And the thing is, everyone, including the professors, actually just laughed. And the professor actually encouraged me lah. He said, like what we're testing here is not your command of Chinese. If you could speak in Chinese, you'd be good, of course. But it's okay, just try your best to answer. So yeah, I feel that what they're looking out for is your understanding of Chinese medicine as a course, your personal reasons for wanting to pursue it, and to give you some insights with regards to the course as well. So yeah, I feel like your command of Chinese, it really isn't a deal breaker or anything that is of serious importance. Okay, so here's the funny thing. In the end, after the three of us answered the questions with regards to the article, all of us actually misinterpreted it and we got it wrong. The professors, like, they really had a good laugh at how bad our Chinese was, and to them how we couldn't even understand this simple article. But what was cool was that despite all this, there wasn't any like grilling or any flaming as to how bad our Chinese was, and instead, like, the professors actually spent the next 20 minutes, going through the article with us and discussing about the article as a whole. And they also gave some insights as to what this article is talking about. So what this article is talking about is how WHO has included Chinese medicine into ICD, which is basically a classification of diseases. And this is actually a really big step for Chinese medicine on the international stage, because it goes to show how Chinese medicine is slowly being accepted on an international level and is growing in popularity not just in China but in other countries as well. And on hindsight, knowing this, my answer is gonna sound really stupid, because I remember saying something like other countries are slowly opening up to Chinese medicine and they love Chinese medicine, so yay, god damn it. And the last part about the Q&A, I also remember asking how often do we need to use Chinese? Like, from the get-go, do we need to have that level of Chinese or that high standard of Chinese every day, like since day one? And the professor actually replied with this. He said that they actually understand how students nowadays, their first language is English. So Chinese-wise, conversationally and written-wise, it may not be as good as our main language, which is English. They understand that, and hence they are actually slowly ramping up the level of Chinese from the start. Like, they will slowly ramp up the level of Chinese and the difficulty of Chinese required for this course. So yeah, all in all, actually I would say I thoroughly enjoyed the whole interview process, and I feel like it was really insightful and meaningful as well. And what stood out to me was actually the warm and inclusive environment throughout this whole interview. Like, everyone's opinions were well respected regardless of how vastly different they were. There was no flaming, no grilling whatsoever. Like, the profs didn't poke your answer further, try to see whether you crack under pressure. There was nothing like that at all. If anything, the professors actually provided a lot of information and a lot of insights to allow us to see Chinese medicine from different perspectives and different points of view, and from there help us to make an informed decision as to whether this course is really the one for us. And I would say that the tone and the way that they shared all this info, they were by no means trying to rope us in, or trying to promote the course, or trying to push us away from the course by saying, for example, like, are you sure you want to pursue this course? None of that whatsoever. It was really very calm and very chill throughout the whole interview. And I feel like the professors were really very nice as well, because they took that extra effort and the extra time, to go through with us the article, to share their own life experiences, and to really just give us a lot of insight. And all this, I feel they were not obligated to do it whatsoever. And it wasn't just, and I feel like another main point that I need to stress about was that the advice that they give wasn't just about Chinese medicine, but rather just about life in general. So they were helping us university students trying to find their way in life. So yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed the whole process, and having sat through different interviews by different courses, I felt like this one was really my favorite, because it really just felt like a very comfortable conversation, where everyone's opinions were respected, everyone voiced out their own opinions, and a lot of insight and information was actually shared throughout the whole conversation, and it was really insightful and really meaningful as well. And another thing I'd like to point out is that with regards to the answers, which I replied to the questions, or whatever I said throughout the whole interview, everything came out smoothly, and it just flowed, I would say. Like, I didn't have to consciously think about how to answer this question, or oh shit, did I screw up? Like, could I have given a better answer, or like I have to structure out my answer? None of that whatsoever. Everything was just really free flowing and really very. Okay, so personal reasons why I chose to stick with this course, or why this was my choice in the end. Okay, so for me, I applied twice, right? Once in 2019 and once in 2020. So the 2019 application outcome was that I got NUS Science, and in 2020, after applying, I actually got offers from SMU Law, NUS Pharmacy, and this double degree course from NTU. And of course, that science offer, which I still held on to in 2019 from NUS. So main reason, like I said earlier, is because I knew I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to play a part in the healthcare industry. I wanted to be someone, on the front lines, interacting with patients, be the one on the ground analyzing the situation, and the one who's able to give the best possible treatment and advice for the patient. So basically, be a trusted confidant and advisor to the patient. Now, as to why I rejected the individual courses, For NUS Pharmacy, don't get me wrong, I really love all the pharmacists out there. It is a very respectable profession and a very respectable course. But for me personally, I just felt that there wasn't that patient interaction that I wanted. And as much as I loved studying about the individual drugs, the mechanisms, and how each drug was unique, I couldn't see myself focusing my career around that, and it wasn't something that I personally was looking for. As for SMU Law, I know you may be thinking like, whoa, why did I even apply for law? Law and medicine are two totally different fields. But the reason why I applied for law was to actually try for the SMU Law and Duke NUS pathway, which in the end, I got the SMU Law offer, but I didn't get the Duke NUS offer. So yeah, I was still offered the SMU Law course. I feel like in hindsight, this should have been a very easy rejection, because like what I said, law and medicine are totally two different things. But for me, I actually grappled with, or rather I had a very difficult time rejecting this course. And reason being was because SMU Law is a very prestigious course, and I just felt like it was a wasted opportunity, should I reject this course. So thankfully, after talking out with some friends, I realized that the main reason why I had a difficult time rejecting the course was because it was just the fact that it was a prestigious course, and not so much on the fact that I wanted to study law. So in other words, it's basically just saying, if I were to take up this course, I would not be taking it up with the right mindset or the right attitude with regards to this course. And thankfully, I managed to figure out as soon as possible, and hence, yeah, I rejected SMU. Now back to this Chinese medicine course, the topics which I'm going to study actually aligned with my own personal goals and interests. And after all, it is still a medical related course, and I will be studying both Western and Chinese medicine. And the only difference is that when it comes to the application part, it will be leaning more towards the Chinese medicine. I admit that most of my experiences so far have been in Western medicine, and coupled with the fact that everything now is being viewed through a westernized lens, I did not pay enough or equal attention to Chinese med as I did with Western medicine. And I feel like this is something that I should have done way earlier, like even before I applied. However, the thing is, after exploring more about Chinese medicine, like the things that I'll be studying, how will I be able to apply them, etc., I actually found it really interesting, and I personally connected with it, and I really can't wait to find out more and study more about Chinese medicine in depth and in detail. Yeah, so eventually I found myself giving an equal amount of effort and time into finding more about Chinese medicine as I did with Western medicine, even though I should have done it earlier. So eventually I found myself giving an equal amount of effort and time into finding more about Chinese medicine as I did with Western medicine. And eventually, I just grew a genuine liking and interest towards this course. And practically speaking as well, after the 5-year course of study, if I am still really interested to find out more and study more about Western med, there's always Duke NUS pathway. And the thing is, I felt that this course will put me in a very good position to try for Duke NUS medical school, because after all, this course will still give me experience as a doctor, with all the clinical internships and all the hospital postings, medical experience that this course can provide throughout the whole 5 years. And furthermore, the course itself was something that I genuinely found very interesting. And the fact that, I'm able to go to China to study for 2 years, basically going overseas to study, is really a once in a lifetime opportunity, and not everyone can do it as well. So that was something that really drew me in as well. So hence, after factoring in everything, and after a lot of soul searching actually, I found what my personal goals and interests were, and without any external influence from anyone, any other course, or basically pressure from anything else, I decided to stick with this course and pursue this double degree Chinese medicine course. Okay, so just to conclude, some final words. Thanks for pairing with this shitty ass YouTuber. I know it's my first video, so pardon any mistakes you see here and there. I'm still learning and all that. But if anything, thanks for watching this video up until the very end. And if you're interested to apply for this double degree program, or you just want to find out more about it and what is it about, I hope that I was able to provide you with some insights and give you a better understanding with regards to this course, especially during the application procedure and interview wise. And even if you're not interested in applying, I hope you found this video useful in one way or another. I don't want to keep this video longer than it already is, and I know I probably didn't manage to cover everything or answer most of the queries which you may have. So feel free to just message me on my Instagram if you have any questions whatsoever, be it about my own personal portfolio prep which I've been doing the last 3 years, or just some uni application advice in general, and I'll be more than willing to help. And yeah, I hope to see you guys around campus or even in my course as well. And all the best for uni applications. I hope you guys get the course of your choice. Thank you.